Okay, so what are we doing today? Actually, I'm gonna need you to go. I'm so sorry. This isn't about you. I'm so sorry. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. So obviously I am filming alone, and that is because I will be telling you all about my trip to Japan. I got back a week ago and I was too sad to edit the footage before now, so that's why this is a little delayed. But I'm back and I've accepted the reality of being in Sydney. It's crushing, but I'll have to move on. This video is really like, it's not teaching you how to be in Japan. It's not like showing you, hotspots that you should go to the first time you go to Japan. This is my third time going to Japan. We've gone the last 2 years in a row and we went this year because the first time we went, it just turned into our favorite place. You guys have it's just such a magical location, and the first time we went we fell in love and we knew that there was so much more that we had to do. So we went back 2 more times, and if it was up to me I'd go again. But me and my partner Patty do plan on one day teaching English there for a year. That is our end goal dream. This is just kind of a rundown of what we did on our trip this time. Tiasha and Alex are actually going there really soon in, don't clock me on this, but it's either May or June. It's Tiasha's first time. I'm gonna give her an entire list of things that I need her to do and see so that we can talk about it when she gets back. Japan to me is just the absolute most magical place in the whole world, and you guys will see kind of snippets into our trip. I didn't really go there with the idea to vlog every second or vlog the hotspots. I think Alex and Tiasha are gonna actually film something where they show you how to kind of do Japan for the first time. I'm not sure if that's a secret, but I think that's what they want to do. So for me, this is honestly just a trip summary, so you guys can see a bit of what I did while I was there for 2 weeks. We left on February 16th and we came back on March 31st. And Shibuya is my favorite place in Japan. We've stayed in a little Airbnb there twice before, and it's where the busy Shibuya crossing is. I'll show some footage here. It's got really good food, it's got really good shopping. It really is a tourist hub, but it's just so stunning. Yeah, Shibuya crossing is my favorite part of Tokyo. I wanted to get the shopping out of the way in the first half of the trip just because I like to know how much money I have. What's the damage after Harajuku, honestly? So we went to Harajuku the next day. Takashita Street is kind of a tourist trap in the sense that it is the latest trends, fast fashion, the big crepes, the big fairy floss. So I didn't actually get that much footage, but I did get me walking down Takashita Street. But I do highly recommend walking around the side streets of Harajuku because there are amazing secondhand shops. One of them is called Chicago, and there are 2 just next to Takashita Street, and they're these 2-story secondhand clothing shops, and they're so cool. They're so cool, you guys. But yeah, the next day I had booked us tickets to the TeamLab Borderless exhibition. You guys might have seen it all over Instagram, but it's this exhibition of lights, and it's an art gallery that just has lights everywhere. We lined up for about half an hour. It was actually quite a trek to get there from Tokyo, and it was worth the wait, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna put some footage in here and just have a really cute montage of, I don't want to spoil it for you guys if you are gonna go, this pales in comparison to what it's like in real life, but honestly, it's such an incredible exhibition. It was really just fun to walk into each room and see what it had to offer. I fell in love with this one room that I knew I was gonna love because it's so heavily Instagrammed, but it had all these kind of ropes of lights, and they were so pretty, and I felt like I was literally in heaven. I felt like I had ascended to the gods, and it's stunning. It's so beautiful, and it's worth it. It is 4,000 yen, which is 50 Australian dollars entry, which is a lot. That's a lot. But while you're on holiday, I do recommend it. On the next day in Tokyo, we went to Ginza, which is kind of the high-end fashion shopping district, which honestly, I'm not there yet. I'm not at the high-end. I don't buy high-end. I'm broke. But it was a really lovely area. It was very New York. The streets were wide. It felt like lots of department stores. We only went there actually for the giant Pokemon store because my boyfriend loves Pokemon. And we went there, and there was really cool touchscreen Pokedexes. I had to pull Patty out of it because he was just on it for so long, and even just pulling him out of that store was impossible. But it was actually really impressive because we had been to the one in Osaka before, and it was kind of underwhelming. It was kind of small, it was within a department store, and it was just kind of eh. But the one in Tokyo was really impressive. It was honestly an entire floor of this building, and they had cards and toys, and it was cool. So that was really all I documented in Tokyo. We then caught the bullet train to Kyoto. We have spent a bit of time in Kyoto, but I have never really explored the old streets of Gion, and I really wanted to do more old town districts this time, and it was such a good idea to do that because Kyoto is so beautiful and there is so much to explore. We stayed in Higashiyama, which is close to the old town, and we did the Philosopher's Path walk up to, I should have done my research, but there's Ginkakuji and Kinkakuji, which is the gold and silver temples. So we walked up the Philosopher's Path. We'd done the golden temple before and we wanted to do the silver temple. And we actually ended up loving the silver temple way more because we got there and like the garden is stunning, whereas the other one, the temple's beautiful, like actually awe-inspiringly stunning. But the silver temple has these gardens and there were these monkeys running around and they were the cutest little things in the whole world. And there was like a mama monkey and then a baby monkey and they were chasing all the tourists. We kept our distance, but I was like filming the entire thing. And the monkey is just like a real little scamp. I'll show you a little video of him falling into the water. It was really cute and really tranquil and really peaceful. And for me, after like the hustle and bustle of Tokyo, Kyoto is so like chill and just like a place where you can go and kind of be with your thoughts. They both like offer different things. If you're gonna go to places for your first trip, Tokyo and Kyoto offer such different things of like city and then like old town cool. I really wanted to see like the classic Kyoto view of where you like look down a street and you see this giant pagoda. So I was trying to Google that, trying to figure out what that was, and that's called the Yasaka, I'm gonna mess this up, Yasaka Noto Pagoda. I'm so sorry, I'm trying to learn Japanese. I've learned like a little bit of hiragana and katakana, and my boyfriend can speak it a little bit because he did it at uni, but I can't. I did my best. I know how to like be polite to people and get by and like order beer, but I do not know how to like speak it, and I mess up the pronunciation. We went to Yasaka Noto Pagoda, and it's this like kind of district. We went at night because we were riding our bikes and the sun was setting and we were just definitely gonna miss it during the day. But we went at night and it looks like what you expect wizards from like Harry Potter, like the Japan subsection of that. It's what you expect their Hogsmeade to look like. You know what I mean? Like it was just this beautiful, it felt magical, it felt stunning. It's this beautiful little old streets and then you just have these views of the pagoda and the temple, and it honestly just felt magical. It felt like something out of Harry Potter. I definitely recommend that if you're in Kyoto, have a look at it. I liked Kyoto probably the most on this trip, mainly because it felt like we kind of lived there. We were in this giant old house. I'll put a picture here of where we were staying. It was an Airbnb and we were in this giant old house, and every morning we'd wake up and we'd ride our bike, show you a little route of our transit. In the morning we went past like a train track and it was just really nice and wholesome. So we went to Takayama after Kyoto. I have never been to Takayama in either of our trips, and I knew it was like something that's kind of similar to Kyoto in the sense that it's not a huge town, it's kind of more of an old town. Apparently it was more chill than Kyoto, according to all the travel websites. We caught a bullet train late at night and we got to Takayama at like midnight. Checked into our giant Airbnb. I'll put some footage in of the Airbnb. It was this huge artist's home. Apparently he was like obsessed with this Japanese artist, and so the walls were just covered in his art. There were art books everywhere. It was way too big for 2 people. It was honestly, it had 8 beds on the top floor, and then the bottom floor was just, it was a really cool traditional old house. But I actually failed you guys and didn't get that much footage of Takayama. What I did get footage of is about an hour walk outside of Takayama, and it's called the Hida Folk Village, and basically it's this place where they've brought in all of these old Japanese houses that have thatched roofs. This is a hard thing to explain, but it's so beautiful, so beautiful. And it's these old houses that they've actually like airlifted from different prefectures and different areas of Japan to kind of keep them as they are. And you can go into each house if you take off your shoes, and there's like fires burning to keep the wood tight, and it just smells really old and rustic, and it's this beautiful folk village where you can just walk around, and it was just stunning. It was so beautiful and something that we've never done before in Japan. We've never done anything like that. So Hida Folk Village in Takayama, definitely recommend. After Takayama, we went to Kobe. We actually have a friend living in Japan who teaches English, and he's been there for about 2.5 years. And he's kind of the reason we go back every year. Well, I say that he's the reason we go back every year. I go back because I love Japan. I actually didn't get any footage of Kobe because I'm a complete fool. But we met up with like 5 friends. We went to the baseball. I'm actually wearing my baseball Hanshin Tigers jersey that I got on my trip before. Because the baseball is honestly one of the craziest things to do in Japan. It is so much fun, and we went to a high school baseball game, and I'll insert a photo. A high school baseball game was like a sold out arena. I don't go to many sports events. I'm not a sporty person, but these baseball games are everything everything. After Kobe, we made our way to Odawara, which is north, and it's where we wanted to kind of base ourselves so that we could go to Hakone, which is apparently the most beautiful side of Fuji with a giant lake. And I've heard a lot about Hakone and how beautiful it is, so I really wanted to check it out. We went to Hakone the next day. We bought the Hakone free pass, which is about $50 Australian, and kind of gets you transport all around Hakone, which is very necessary. It's kind of the only way to see it. It gets you on like the airlifts, which are the best part because you get to see Mount Fuji, you get to see the volcano. It was really cool. I've never been in an airlift before, and it was just really honestly a spectacular way to travel. We then saw these like swan boats that people were renting out to go like paddle around Lake Ashi. I was a bit hesitant because my boyfriend Paddy can be a bit reckless, and I don't really trust him in a boat with me, not to overturn it. But we rented one, and everything went smoothly. Stop! No, don't actually. For the most part. And it was just really nice. I do recommend that if you guys go to Hakone to rent one of these things because it was like $20 for 2 people, and we got to just ride around by ourselves in the middle of a lake with a beautiful view of Mount Fuji. We then went to the shrine that sits like near the water of Hakone. It was a bit of a walk from the swan boats, but it was worth the walk. It was absolutely beautiful. We went there at the end of the day, so it was like 4 o'clock, and I think the shrine was just about to close. And it was just, you guys, this video is mostly just me bragging about how stunning Japan is and how beautiful the things we saw are, but I can't recommend enough that you guys need to go. And if you've been, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been, book a flight right now because it's absolutely worth it. We got on a bullet train and we went to Tokyo again for the final leg of our trip. For the last few days, we mostly just hung out with each other, went to like Akihabara, which is basically this mecca of anime, manga, pop culture. If you like video games, if you like anything to do with that world, it's the place for you. And that night we went to a Sega game well, which are like these 9-story video game arcades, and played so many games and lost so much money on claw games. They are a hack. Do not do it. Do not do it at all. Don't even do it once. Claw games are a lie. I've never won a single one, and we probably dropped about 40 Australian dollars on this giant Gengar plushie that Paddy really wanted, but we didn't win it. We got dangerously close, but we did not win it. Big no to claw game. In Tokyo, the like main line that we catch is the Yamanote line, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's like a meme to Japanese people. I think it is because you can buy like Yamanote merch, but basically the line that we catch is this loop line called the Yamanote line, which takes you to like Shinjuku, Shibuya, Harajuku. I'm obsessed with this train line because honestly, it's the best thing to ever happen to me. It's so efficient, it's always on time, it's the best train line in the whole world. And we were in a Sega World and I saw there's a Yamanote line game. Actually, I think it's just a train game. I think it's just a game where you can play as a train conductor, but one of the lines you can play as is the Yamanote line. So I freaked out and naturally I had to play it. First of all, couldn't figure out how to do it, couldn't figure out how to play the game because it was all in Japanese and I don't speak Japanese, so I didn't know what was happening. I was just trying to drive a train, but clearly I'm not qualified. But you guys can see for yourselves, I was not very good at it until I finally understood what was going on.
Not too much, Johnny.
It doesn't say where I need to be. I don't know.
Is there a touchscreen, honey? Where we go?
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I'm driving a train. So to top off our trip, I knew that the cherry blossoms were going to bloom early this year. I didn't know how early, and when I booked the flights for this trip, I didn't know. You can never really know if you're going to get the cherry blossoms. It's honestly so unpredictable, and they're meant to come in like April. They came in March this year, and luckily we were back in Tokyo on the 27th, which is the day that they were full blooming. We spent the last few days of our trip honestly just hanging out around the sakura. There were so many hanami festivals, which is like cherry blossom festivals where people just put down like a tarp mat and have a picnic with their friends and get drunk and eat great food. And so for the last few days, me and Paddy honestly just would get some food from the Family Mart or 7-Eleven and just sit under the cherry blossom tree. But it was just really nice. It was a really wholesome atmosphere. Everyone just having a good time. People had obviously taken like the day off work and were just hanging out with their friends. And we went on a weekend and just the park was full of people, and not in like a, ew, it's too full here, ew, cherry blossom season's too crowded. It was just really wholesome to see everyone enjoying nature. It was really cute. And we went to Shinjuku Gyoen Park, which was incredible. It has over 800, I think, cherry blossom trees, and they were all full bloom. Not to be dramatic or anything, it was honestly the most incredible time in the world. On our last day, I also dragged Patty to Harajuku again, just so I could see the Lush store, because it's like this bath bomb factory, and it's not like any other Lush store in the world, I think. Like, I'm pretty sure there's no other place that does this, but it was like lines and lines of bath bombs, and then like a sushi train of bath bombs. It was really cool, and I really wanted to see it before we left. And we had, our flight was at like 8 o'clock at night, so we had the day to go explore, and we basically just went to the Lush store, and then lay down underneath some cherry blossom trees and enjoyed our last 2 hours in Japan. But yeah, Japan was incredible, and the 2 weeks that we spent there, every second was fun. Like, without a doubt, it was one of the best trips of my life. I just recommend Japan. I think it's really cool. I think it's such an incredible experience. I'm so excited for Tiasha and Alex to go. I know Alex has been like a million times, so she is going to show Tiasha all of the coolest places. So I didn't want to make this video like me giving you guys recommendations, because I know that Tiasha and Alex are probably going to do something similar to that, and I know that there are plenty of outlets for you guys to look that up. I do want to say I highly recommend the Japan travel subreddit. For any questions you guys have about Japan, or just to see other people's itineraries and get ideas from that, I highly recommend the Japan travel subreddit. It's where I learned most of what I know about Japan and where to go and what to see, and just little insights into people that have been to Japan a few times, and they know what's up. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Keep it cute and keep it sweet.